Hey, you. Ever catch yourself lost in thought and just wonder what's actually happening up there?
Yeah. Or maybe seeing a piece of art that just, stopped you, made you feel something.
Exactly. And you ask yourself, what's this for? What's the point?
If that sounds familiar, well, you're definitely in the right place for this deep dive.
They're tackling those big ones today. What is thinking? And, maybe trickier, what is art really good for?
And we're doing it by looking at some really varied sources. It's interesting how they sort of talk to each other.
Yeah, it's not just about art being like self-expression. We're pushing past that.
Right. Could it be for organizing, healing, learning?
Or even this idea popped up, like a mural having a kind of vote, representing a community.
Fascinating concept. And what about a gallery being what was it, a grocery store of thought?
Yeah, we'll unpack that one.
Yeah.
And also think about art as this lens,
A prism, maybe? A way to see things differently, grasping things words can't quite reach.
that human context, yeah. And okay, here's a modern twist we might touch on.
Go on.
In this age of AI everywhere, could actually making something physical, like printing a poster,
Be an act of resistance against AI slop, as someone put it.
maybe. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what these sources suggest about thinking and about art's power.
Okay, thinking first. Where do we start? Mind Hacks gives us a pretty useful model, I think.
The buffet analogy, I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the brain's moment by moment workings is this like buffet of different operations. What does that suggest to you?
Well, it immediately breaks down the idea of thinking as just one single thing happening,
Right. It's messy, complex.
It's this mix, this constant ebb and flow the book mentions between the voluntary stuff,
Where you feel like I'm deciding.
yeah, that me feeling,
Yeah.
and then all the automatic processes just running in the background.
Uh-huh. So sometimes you're directing traffic, other times you're just along for the ride.
Pretty much. The buffet idea captures that mix. We're not always consciously in charge.
Which is key when we ask what is thinking, isn't it?
Okay.
It's not just the conscious part.
Definitely not. And that connects interestingly to meditation, like in Zen mind, beginner's mind.
Ah, yes, the internal images during zazen, the seated meditation.
Right. And the advice isn't to fight them or analyze them.
Just let them float by.
Exactly. Let them come and go. Don't get hooked. The aim seems to be, what? Calmness.
Calmness, yeah, and maybe moving towards what they call big mind.
This sense of being connected to everything, a broader awareness.
Something like that. Creating mental space by not clinging to every thought image that pops up.
It sounds a bit like some of the descriptions of mindfulness meditation, too.
Hmm. There are overlaps that focus on observing the present moment without judgment.
Letting things be. But it's not always that straightforward, is it? Meditation isn't always bliss.
No, and that's a really important point raised in measuring a journey without goal.
Right. It brings in a necessary dose of realism.
It highlights that, while meditation is often linked to spiritual goals, its role varies.
And crucially, it doesn't shy away from the potential downsides.
Exactly. Things like finding it difficult to learn or having troubling thoughts surface.
Or even making existing mental health issues feel worse for some people.
It's crucial to acknowledge that, isn't it? To avoid painting it as some kind of magic bullet.
Totally. It respects that inner buffet. Again, sometimes it serves up difficult stuff.
And underscores that different approaches work for different people. It's not one size fits all.
And then you have even finer distinctions, like in the Wikipedia entry on meditation.
Ah, the early Chan Buddhist concepts. No thought and non-thinking.
Yeah, Wu Nian and Fei Silang. How are they different from, say, focusing on the breath?
Well, no thought seems to be about a mind free from all that conceptual clutter, getting beyond the constant chatter.
Okay, and non-thinking.
That sounds like it goes even further. Maybe a direct awareness that isn't even about thinking or not thinking. It's beyond that process.
So less focus on technique, more on directly experiencing the nature of awareness itself.
That seems to be the gist. Connecting with the perceiving subject, which they linked to Buddha nature.
Hmm. So thinking. It's this dynamic mix of automatic and controlled stuff, and there are all these ways, like meditation, to engage with it, aiming for different states, observations, stillness, maybe even this direct awareness.
A really complex inner world, which leads us nicely into the art question, what's it good for?
Right. Beyond just, I feel sad, I'll paint something sad.
Exact. Beautiful Trouble really challenges that limited view. It talks about activist art hitting a new level. What's new about it?
It seems much more intentional, more strategic, using creativity, but also humor and networked intelligence.
For social and political change, specifically.
Yeah, like those situationist slogans you see on walls sometimes. Punchy, memorable.
Or the giant puppets in protests, you can't ignore those. Very visual, very powerful.
And the source mentions groups like ACTUP, the Zapatistas, using fable, poetry, theater.
It's like they knew you need to capture imagination and emotion, not just throw facts at people.
Makes sense. Connect on a different level.
And what about that idea of organized coincidences, like critical mass bike rides?
Oh, yeah, that's fascinating, calling that art.
Well, it's a collective creative action, isn't it? Self-organizing with a clear purpose.
Disrupting the norm, reclaiming space, making a statement, using the unexpected. It definitely feels like performance art, in a way.
It really pushes the boundaries. And then
Yeah.
there's something like Burning Man.
Not overtly political, but that emphasis on participation.
No spectators, you are the entertainment.
Right. It's about actively shaping the experience, not just consuming it. Does that influence people later? Maybe in activism?
The source suggests it could. That experience of radical participation and self-expression might, spill over.
Interesting. Okay, now those questions that floated around. What if murals could vote?
And what does it mean to walk into a space and see your neighborhood reflected, warts and all?
Considering art is more than expression, what do those questions spark for you?
They really hit on representation, don't they? Giving voice.
If a mural shows the real life of a place, the good and the bad,
The warts and all bit is key. Authenticity.
is it kind of expressing the community's identity, its hopes, its struggles?
In a powerful visual way, yeah. Making unseen things visible, putting faces and stories out there that might get ignored otherwise.
So it's not just decoration. It's commentary. It's presence.
Absolutely. A potent form of social commentary.
Which brings us to that other question. The poster versus AI slop.
The physical artifact as resistance.
Can making a tangible poster push back against the flood of AI content?
There's something about the physical act, isn't there? The human touch.
Yeah, it feels different. It
Ah.
has intention, effort.
Compared to easily generated digital stuff, it's like saying a person made this, reclaiming that creative act.
So art's good for activism, community building, representation, maybe even resisting certain tech trends. It's way more than just expression.
Definitely seems that way. Which leads to thinking about art as a lens, a way of seeing.
And Fahrenheit 451 comes to mind here. Faber's line.
I don't talk things, sir. I talk the meaning of things.
Wow. Yeah.
Huh.
What's that saying about art or literature in this case?
That it gets under the surface, right? It's not just reporting facts. It digs into significance, meaning what it feels like to be alive.
It connects you to something deeper.
And later, Montag with those guys by the fire, turning the world over with their eyes.
That image is great. Shared stories, shared contemplation, changing perspective.
Exactly. It's collective meaning-making. Engaging with stories together, building understanding. It shows the social power of art.
You wouldn't necessarily think of BoJack Horseman in this context, but
But the point about aiming for a deeper sense of realism.
yeah, showing the messy, confusing, sad parts of life that often get skipped over.
Art holding up that mirror, even to the uncomfortable bits.
Giving a more honest, maybe more complex perspective than simple narratives allow.
It challenges us, forces us to look at the difficult stuff, which can be incredibly insightful.
And it all ties into this idea of art providing a human context that words sometimes just fail to capture.
Oh, absolutely. Think about music or a powerful painting.
It hits you differently, doesn't it? An emotional understanding.
Visceral. It communicates joy, grief, love in ways that resonate before you even try to explain them. A different kind of knowing.
Through feeling, intuition,
Mm-hmm.
not just intellect.
So yeah, art as a lens gives us deeper meanings, shared viewpoints, maybe a more honest look at reality, and connects us emotionally where words fall short.
Which brings us back around beautifully to that metaphor.
The gallery as a grocery store of thought.
Okay, now that we've chewed on all this, how does that metaphor land for you?
I find it really compelling, actually. It reframes the whole experience.
How so?
Instead of just passively looking, it suggests we can actively choose ideas from art, like picking out food.
Intellectual nourishment. I like
Well,
that.
yeah. A gallery offers all these different artistic foods, perspectives, thoughts, feelings that we can consume, engage with, integrate.
And linking back to art's functions,
Yeah.
organizing, healing, learning.
It's like the grocery store has different aisles for different needs, right?
Exactly. Need something provocative, go down that aisle. Need something comforting, over here. Need to connect with history. Got that too.
It makes the gallery feel dynamic, like a place for active engagement with ideas, not just quiet reverence.
Choosing what you need to feed your mind or soul.
Precisely. Art as something to be used, incorporated, not just admired from afar.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive,
Yeah.
we've covered a lot.
From the brain's inner workings to art's many, many potential jobs.
Yeah, it's clear thinking is complex, and art is. Well, it's way more than just pretty pictures or expressing feelings.
It can be a tool for change, a way to understand, a source of nourishment, like we said.
So those questions we started with, what is thinking? What's art good for? Hopefully feel a bit richer now.
More nuanced, definitely. Thinking is multifaceted. Art serves a whole host of purposes.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to take away.
Okay, how about this? Start noticing the art in your everyday life, not just gallery art.
Like what?
Conversations you have, music you hear, the design of buildings, how your town is laid out.
Ah, okay. Broaden the definition.
Yeah. And ask yourself, how do these things shape how I think, how I see the world?
And could any of them, metaphorically, could they vote?
Could they represent voices, ideas, perspectives in your community? Just something to mull over.
That's a great prompt. Look at the world with fresh eyes, basically. Recognize the power in thinking and in the art all around us.
Keep exploring, keep asking questions.
And keep diving deep. Thanks so much for joining us.